Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan, and today I'm going to talk about the. Wait, is my mic on? It's on. Today I'm going to talk about the deal of the century. That's right, Donald Trump, the mighty Donald Trump, has come up with a peace plan for Israel, for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The GoFundMe link is in the description box. Click the link. Check out the site, check out the stories. If you got $5 or more laying around and you want to donate to a charity, you can at Devon's Journey to Recovery. GoFundMe link in the description box. Alright, as you can see behind me, we have two images here. We have on the left we have Donald Trump's territorial plan for this peace deal. What will Israel look like? What will Palestine look like? There it is. And on the right, we have a dwindling Palestinian territorial loss from 1946 to 2000. Once again, I don't know if this is the case exactly. I'm assuming this is the case. If you look from left to right, it's like, yeah. Just slowly being swallowed up. It looks like if the white part, Israel, was like the ocean, and then like climate change or some shit happened, and it's just just land sinking underneath the ocean. That's what it looks like to me. But as you can see, the Trump plan, the image on the left, it's like, yep. Well, he's saying it's doubling their territory. But, you know, from what? The scraps left over? Like, all the territory taken, and then you double it, won't mean so much compared to, you know, something like some guy using dumb guy logic would say, like, why don't you just cut it in half? If you want 2 states, if you have to have that, why don't you just cut it in half? Cut it in half, share the resources or something. But apparently that's too complicated for these Harvard graduates. Too complicated for them. Or they have something else in mind. They're not here for peace. They have something else in mind, which is most likely the case. So we're going to shift over, and I'm just going to go over some highlights. Not highlights, some clips I pointed out, some timestamps of the, I guess, press conference with Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu announcing this deal of the century, which is not a deal of... The Palestinians aren't buying this shit. They won't sign this. They weren't included in the negotiations. They weren't included in this so-called diplomatic mission. There's probably no Palestinians in the fucking room. You know, you just see a bunch of yarmulkes standing up and clapping. Just being honest with you. So they're not having it. They're probably not going to sign this deal. You see people protesting, burning shit. But, you know, who knows? Maybe someone will feel desperate or, I don't know. Whatever could happen. Some corrupt action could be happening. Who knows? So let's go over some of these clips. I'm just going to talk shit over them, you know.
The Palestinian people have grown distrustful after years of unfulfilled promises. So true. Yet I know they are ready to escape.
I think it's a little bit more than promises made that they're distrustful of. Just saying. Probably every Palestinian probably knows someone who's had their houses bulldozed or been kicked out of their house, or they've had it happen to themselves. So, yeah, there's a lot more than just failed promises, failed deal promises happening. A little bit more than that. You know, hospitals being bombed, shit like that. There's reasons why people are pissed off. And you're probably not helping by completely favoring Israel. Right?
Their tragic past and realize a great destiny. But we must break free of yesterday's failed approaches. This map will more than double the Palestinian territory and provide a Palestinian capital in eastern Jerusalem where America will proudly open an embassy.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they want. An embassy. Just like the Iraqis want their, city built within their own city. The ones that are getting rockets fired at it by militias. They want one of those in their fucking countries. Or they want one in their country. Holy shit. And the rejection of this deal is going to be excused away as they just hate Israel. And they just don't want Israel to exist. I'm like, they probably don't. I don't give a shit if Israel exists or not. I don't give a shit about naming a piece of land as this or that. Just being honest with you. Fucking make it one giant thing and change the fucking name of it. Don't name it Israel. Don't name it Palestine, and tell everyone to shut the fuck up. Excuse me. Tell the leaders that are trying to brainwash their own citizens to shut the fuck up. Get out of the way and let normal people just do shit. I suspect you'd see a lot more progress than governments shooting bombs at each other. Say, man, I just want my kids to go to school. Meanwhile, some fucking creeper do like, we must bomb the Israelis out of existence. Come on, they stole your land, man. Let's do it. Are you even from here? Like that shit. Or Israelis like, fuck Netanyahu. Fuck that asshole. Piece of shit. But they will harm you if I'm not here to protect you. You've been causing the harm, asshole. Leave. Let's skip ahead to... he mentioned something where he's talking about, when my first trip abroad, I went to Saudi Arabia to come up with peace dealings in the Middle East and stuff, like the largest exporter of terrorism. Those guys, not only like financially and with arms and weapons and shit, but also like ideological. Not to say that that's the biggest fucking issue, because ideologically speaking, or speaking about ideology, I don't think it's the greatest fucking purveyor of shitty action in the world. I really think I think that's a minority of people. The dudes who strap on bombs and blow themselves up, they might be brainwashed as far with ideology. But a lot of dudes that are in these armies, these like Al Qaeda and ISIS, they're in armies shooting at people and being tactical and shit. I think those are more like mercenaries. And they're like, we'll take anyone who will fight. Like, oh, you want a paycheck? Okay, we'll pay you to fight. Sort of like what we do with our own military. So I want to bring up this. Donald Trump speaking about Iran and Soleimani for some reason. The Palestinian-Israeli peace deal. We need to bring up Iran. There we go.
Work so hard and they love this country. The Iranian regime is isolated and weakened greatly. We eliminated Qasem Soleimani, the world's top terrorist.
The world's top terrorist because we deem it so. That's essentially what's being said here. Right? It's he's the top terrorist because we said so. And the fucking knuckleheads that buy this bullshit, who completely excuse or ignore any things the U.S. government has done for the sake of, I don't even know what. Was it the feel good or something? Does it make you feel better? I don't understand the reasoning why you just buy whatever this fucking guy says. Clearly ran by neocons. Fucking Pence, Pompeo, Abrams. He fucking hires Ken the Star and Alan Dershowitz as his lawyers. You can't. Come on, man. Come on. How come it wasn't Judicial Watch? How come they weren't the guys representing Trump? I don't understand it. You're out of excuses. Right? He turned, as a talking point, turned a military action where he killed someone, and he has to use the excuse of he's the biggest terrorist in the world. How? How do we know this? Because we're announcing it after we already killed him. Now he's the biggest terrorist in the world. At least you're welcome on the Rogan podcast. You are welcome there to say that. Here we go. What's it like killing terrorists? Listen to this shit. God's sakes. There's no Palestinians in there, by the way. There's no Iranian representatives that are like, yeah, we got rid of that bad guy that was terrorizing us. You must ask yourself, who is in that room? Who is cheering that on? What type of humans are cheering that on?
And as you know, he was with the head of Hezbollah. I don't think they were up to anything good. I don't think so. He ran an organization.
You're supposed to tell us you know they weren't up to something. That's only, you need evidence, right? Before you just go and kill someone. You know they were up to something wrong. Right? I don't think they were up to something good. He's being cheeky, right? But he still hasn't provided us any evidence. So being cheeky doesn't cut it here. Number one terrorist, prove it.
Called Jerusalem Liberation Forces and used his hatred, total severe hatred of Israel as a rallying cry to divert attention from the incompetence and shortcomings of his government. He falsely...
It's like, what are you, insulting them now? They just say they're bad and prove they're bad. That's all you need to do.
Promoted the sinister notion that a free Jerusalem, we must really be at war with Israel. So to have it free, we have to be at war with Israel. And he said it very, very powerfully.
Listen to this.
In fact, it's been in this false war that Israel, really, the enemies of peace have used it. They just used it as an excuse to divide and totally oppress the Middle East. In truth,
that's what some Americans believe, Donald Trump. That's what some people that voted for you believe, Donald Trump. There's a lot of them that are not going to vote for you again because of this, because they think you're fighting wars on behalf of Israel. Seriously. There's a good number of people where this is like the final straw. There's some that'll just excuse it, but, you know, they're a special kind of stupid. Yeah. I mean, guys, how many things does he have to fuck up on for you to abandon this motherfucker? What's next?
Jerusalem is liberated.
It is liberated. What he means is he gave control over to the Israelis. That means it's liberated. Holy fuck. Can't wait till you see the dark room. Alright, let's skip ahead to Benjamin Netanyahu. His is by far the creepiest because he has no filter for his shit. He just says it because he won't face any backlash for it. Alright? Not here, definitely not in Israel. In other Middle Eastern countries, yeah, they're gonna be like, see, we told you, they're here to do this. They're here to kill all of you and take over your territory. And it's like, they'll feel justified because they'll just play them this video clips like this. You guys are the ones that cause terrorism. Not only like overtly, where you just give money and weapons to these fucking guys that'll destabilize governments. Not just funding rebels in Syria. Not just that. But also you just say it and think it flies. Like the mainstream media, they're fucking dying. And they're not going to be able to save you at a certain point. At some point, everyone's going to be like, fuck these guys. Fuck all of them. And I hate to see what's going to happen. So surrender to Jordan first. Surrender to me. Come do a podcast with me. We'll just sit and talk. Either that or fucking pitchforks. Up to you.
Durable peace.
Creep.
Since the moment of its birth, Israel has yearned for peace with our Palestinian neighbors and peace with the broader Arab world. For decades, that peace has proved elusive, despite so many well-intentioned plans. One after the other, they failed.
We're looking for that special piece of Palestine. We want all. Give me all the pieces. So yeah, like bombing Syria on Christmas is the way to instill peace in the Middle East. Annexing the Golan Heights. We wanted that piece. It's ours now. All the pieces we want.
Why did they fail? They failed because they did not strike the right balance between Israel's vital security and national interests and the Palestinians' aspirations for self-determination.
Right? Same shit that's said over here. He probably worked with American-styled speechwriter guys that could just say, American interest and security. So you're not using the same type of terminology. We know what that means by now, right? When we bring democracy to Iraq, right? We know what that is. When we give them freedom, we know what those are. So his bullshit's not fooling Americans. And I'm sure it's not fooling all Israelis. I'm sure there's a good amount of them that get fooled.
Too many plans tried to pressure Israel to withdraw from vital territory like the Jordan Valley. But you, Mr. President, you recognized that Israel must have sovereignty in the Jordan Valley and in other strategic areas of Judea and Samaria.
Now, what I'm assuming that means is, see all the little, right? You see little pieces of, in this plan, little pieces of Palestinian territory, right? Then you see little spots in between them and all around them. I'm guessing those are strategically needed for the sake of controlling another people, right? To militarily have not only the support and backing of the largest military in the world, the biggest military spender, the biggest seller of weapons, not only that, but you also have the territorial advantage. Like, you know, you see how like the U.S. struggled in Afghanistan because of, you know, mountains and all this shit. That is, you know, shit above my pay grade and as far as expertise, but you know, from what I heard, it's about like a lot of territorial things that are important strategically for militaries to, you know, I guess win battles or whatnot. So they're gonna get the territorial advantage, the financial advantage, the the weapon advantage, right? I don't think Palestine has a fucking air force. They definitely don't have an air force. They would have fucking struck already. So it's like they're essentially in an, as people call it, open air prison. They're just continuing it. Yeah. So yeah, I see why people are going to say fuck you to this deal. Now this is no help. This is not going to get you closer to peace between Israel and Palestine. Here we go.
Rather than pay easy lip service to Israel's security and simply shut your eyes, hope for the best, you recognize that Israel must have sovereignty in places that enable Israel to defend itself by itself.
And what about Palestinian security? See how you could just do you could just play with people's perceptions, and you could just say, oh, you have two armies fighting each other. All you have to do is label one of them as terrorist. Now it's whatever they do is a danger or a threat to security in the world, right? When Iran takes military action, all you have to do is label them as terrorists. Thus, whatever they do is illegitimate and, a threat to world peace and whatnot. You label one side the good guys. Anything they do is for peace and security. So, they've already done that with Palestinians. Thus, there you go. He will be able to say it's for peace and prosperity that Israel gets these, military spots, these strategically good military spots. We earn them by, I don't know how. We earn them.
For too long, far too long, the very heart of the land of Israel, where our patriots prayed, our prophets preached, and our kings ruled, has been outrageously branded as illegally occupied territory. Well, today, Mr. President, you are puncturing this big lie.
Has been for years called illegally occupied territory. And now, Trump legalized it. See how you can play with perception? Something that before was considered illegal, you just say, no, it's legal. And now it's legal. Like legality and illegality mean nothing. All about just changing perceptions around. Now, once again, this shouldn't work. Right? It shouldn't work when Netanyahu says it to Americans. And a lot of Americans are like, fuck this guy. But when Trump repeats it, when Pompeo repeats it, you're going to see dumb Americans just accept it. They might change the terminology around a little bit, but they mean the same thing. And, of course, dum-dums, like special kinds of dumb, are able to just be fooled by the face that's talking to them. Right? A lot of the Alex Jones fans start complaining about Obama, look what Obama did, Obama. It's like the Bush era didn't just happen right before that. Like Bush isn't the reason we got Obama, or Obama isn't the reason we got Trump. It seems pretty obvious to someone who thinks, but if you can't really think that well, it is a skill. Thinking is indeed a skill. And it's going to be lost on you. You're not going to see how Bush led to Clinton, that led to Bush, that led to Obama, that led to Trump. And you can't see the continuation of their shitty policies over periods of time. Unbelievable. And this guy's like, I love how stupid the Americans are. I could say whatever I want. No one blames me.
you are recognizing Israel's sovereignty over all the Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria, large and small alike.
What?
Samaria, recognizing Israel's sovereignty over all the Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria, large and small alike.
Oh, I can't wait till he does this. He's going to announce it nice, loud and proud, and will receive zero pushback for saying it. Wait for it, it's coming.
These, as the distinguished pastors who are here know very well, these are places inscribed in the pages of the Bible. These are places carved into the bedrock of our common civilization. The sacred tomb in Hebron, where the fathers and mothers of the Jewish people are buried. Bet El, where Jacob dreamed of a ladder ascending to the heavens. Shiloh, where the Ark of the Covenant that held the 10 Commandments for centuries. That's what happened in Shiloh. Thanks to you, Mr. President, these areas and so many others that for millennia have been etched in the soul of the Jewish people and have fired the imaginations of millions of people around the world and across the world. These areas will now be recognized by the United States as a permanent part of the Jewish state.
The Jewish state. That on its own it's supposed to be like spooky to people, right? That there's a theocracy happening. Right? It's contradictory to say the only democracy in the Middle East and then also say it's a Jewish state. They don't go together, right? It's sort of, the antithesis of democracy, right? Democracy is supposed to be like nothing. There's no bias against you, no matter what your religion is, right? But to name it a Jewish state would almost certainly guarantee that, if there was, let's say there was a peace deal, right, and a Palestinian moved from Palestine to Israel, they did it all legally and all that shit, and they went to Israel, and they got citizenship in Israel, and then, I'm an aspiring politician. They rise their ranks and they run for president. Could they actually win? Could I become an Israeli citizen and win the presidency? Or do they have to be Jewish? How else do you call it a Jewish state unless it's Jewish people controlling it? That on its own is the antithesis of what I guess people call democracy. In fact, you'd have to make sure your country stays majority Jewish. And not only that, a certain ideology within Judaism, right? Because not every Jewish person buys the bullshit of this motherfucker, of this creeper. So you have to be specifically Jewish, but specifically a certain ideology of Jewish people, right? So it's a minority of even a minority. And then it's like they have to control everything because not all of them believe this bullshit, that it should be a Jewish state. There's plenty that do not agree with that. So doesn't that sound like, I don't know, tyranny? Isn't that tyranny? When it's like only someone who thinks this way and is of this type of genetics. It's like, once again, there's dumb guy logic. But he hasn't said, no, he did say that. There might be more here. I think there's more here. Let me play a little more. Yeah, that's right. There's Palestinians in there, right? Negotiating this? That's where all that clapping's coming from. There's definitely normal, average Americans there in there cheering too, right?
Mr. President, because of this historic recognition, and because I believe your peace plan strikes the right balance where other plans have failed, I've agreed to negotiate peace with the Palestinians on the basis of your peace plan.
Once again, it's not a negotiation. It is. It's to negotiate Palestinians surrendering. Like, just give up on any sense of independence. Well, on paper, say you have a state, but we're going to control all the military routes. We're going to control most of the territory. We're going to be surrounding you. You're going to have to walk through tunnels to get from place to place. We'll be fine the way we are. You'll be completely separated from us. And, yeah. Good luck. Doesn't Netanyahu look like sick or some shit like that? He looks sick to me. Maybe it's all the children screaming at night in his fucking subconscious. I can't wait. Can't wait.
It's a great plan for Israel. It's a great plan for peace. Frankly, Mr. President.
It's a great plan for Israel. And it's a great plan for, you would think he would say Palestine right there. But he says peace. It's a great plan for more peace is of Palestine. More peace is.
Given all that you have already done for Israel, I'm not surprised.
All right, I'll end on here. He's going to like rattle off all the Trump achievements for Israel. Right? He got us out of the Middle East, right, guys? No. Who has he helped, other governmental creepers.
You have been the greatest friend that Israel has had in the White House.
Sorry, it skipped a little there. Not from, I think it's just RT's video feed skipped. The greatest friend or ally of Israel that they've ever had, I believe is what he's saying. That's right. That's right. Palestinians in the front row right there. Like, yeah! Woo! Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Creepy ass handshake.
Great, outstanding friends in these halls. It's not even close. Your historic decisions to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, to recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, to reaffirm Israel's legal claims in Judea and Samaria, to stand up to Iran, to pull out of that dangerous Iran deal, to confront is not the word, to eliminate Qasem Soleimani, to support and encourage unbelievable cooperation between Israel and the United States in the military and strategic and intelligence fields. All this bear testament to the friendship and depth of your leadership and commitment to Israel.
He's right about that. Definitely evidence of the commitment to Israel. So yeah, that guy on the left right there with the slum, he doesn't look that happy. I don't know. Maybe he's like, maybe his boss is talking to him or something. Maybe one of his masters. No, I'm not going there. He's a creeper too. They're equally creepers. But yeah, of course, Trump consults with Israel when he takes certain actions in the Middle East before any of you. That's for sure. All the Trump fans claim he's mighty and a hero and all of that. It's like, he'll go to Netanyahu before he goes and talks to you. 100%. You're one of the normies that he will never, like, he wouldn't even shake your fucking hand. without a camera. Nah, he probably would, but not not a genuine handshake. Not like, I really respect this person, let's shake hands. It's a conditional shaking of the hands. It's conditional. Oh, where's the camera? Okay. Where's my limousine? Where's my bulletproof car? Because I'm important. Oh, dear God. Oh, my God. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this up. This dude will have security surrounding him the rest of his life. He'll have Secret Service with him for the rest of his fucking life. Because you guys made him some sort of important figure. Oh my God. Cannot make this shit up. So yeah. Like I said, consults Israel. Consults Netanyahu before he takes any military action. And doesn't tell our Congress. Ha 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 ha. Not really complained about in the mainstream news, right? Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, they're not upset that he, conversed with Netanyahu first. They're just upset that he didn't consult with them. That's the only problem here, right? Alright, that's it for me. Please subscribe if you like, comment, agree, disagree, tell me what you think. You tell me what's going on here. Is this some sort of shenanigans? I don't know. You tell me. Don't forget to donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery GoFundMe link in the description box. With all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.